The air hung heavy, thick with the smell of oil and dust. Shadows stretched long and thin as the last rays of sun bled out from the horizon. A lone bulb flickered, casting an anemic yellow circle in the cavernous garage. Tools hung on the walls, gleaming dully like watchful eyes. This wasn't your pristine showroom floor kind of garage. No, this was a place where grease was a badge of honor and sweat equity was the currency. This was a place where broken things came to be reborn, where metal whispered secrets to those who knew how to listen. And tonight, the whispers were turning into screams. A low hum began to resonate in the silence, a sound like a giant's heartbeat, deep and rhythmic. It pulsed from the depths of the garage, echoing off the walls, growing steadily louder, more insistent, as if the very walls were alive. The hair on the back of your neck would stand on end, a primal warning that something was deeply, terribly wrong. Your instinct screamed at you to run, but curiosity held you in place. The source of the sound was a tangled mess of thick industrial belts hanging from the ceiling, swaying gently. Used to power the array of lathes, grinders and presses, these belts were the lifeblood of the machinery. They normally lay dormant after hours, silent and still, but not tonight. Tonight they writhed, a nest of rubbery serpents coming to life, twisting and turning with a mind of their own. An eerie green glow emanated from their depths, casting long, sinister shadows. Illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air, the glow seemed almost alive, pulsating with an unnatural energy. With a suddenness that made you jump out of your skin, the belts lashed out. They whipped through the air, cracking like whips, snaking around metal beams and yanking tools off the walls. Metal screeched against metal, a symphony of chaos conducted by unseen hands. Heavy wrenches flew through the air like projectiles, smashing into tool chests and leaving deep dents in their wake. Sparks showered down from the grinding teeth of the lathes as they sprang to life, their metal jaws snapping shut with enough force to sever a man's arm. The air filled with the choking stench of ozone and the acrid bite of burning rubber. A mechanic stands ready. But in the eye of this mechanical storm, a figure stood unmoved, a beacon of resilience amidst chaos. His name was Tom, but everyone called him the Mechanic, a title earned through years of sweat, blood and busted knuckles. He was the go-to guy when things went wrong, the one who could fix anything. He stood with the calm assurance of a seasoned sailor weathering a hurricane, his weathered face etched with concern, but not fear. He had seen it all, from minor glitches to catastrophic failures. His eyes, though, those were something else. They burned with a fierce light, a mixture of anger and determination. They were the eyes of a man who had faced countless challenges and emerged victorious. He knew every inch of this garage, every creak and groan of its machinery. It was his domain, his sanctuary, where he could bring order to chaos. And he knew, with a certainty that ran bone deep, that this wasn't natural. Something was off, something he couldn't quite put his finger on. This wasn't a simple mechanical failure. This was different. This was personal. It was as if the very heart of the garage was under attack, and he was the only one who could defend it. A symphony of screeches and sparks. Tom moved with a speed that belied his age, dodging a flying wrench here, ducking under a lashing belt there. Every movement was precise, calculated. He wasn't just reacting, he was anticipating, using the chaos against itself. He grabbed a heavy chain hanging from the ceiling, his calloused hands gripping it tight. With a mighty roar, he swung it, the links singing as they cut through the air. The chain connected with a resounding clang, wrapping around a writhing mass of belts, yanking them taut. Silence falls, peace reigns. The garage held its breath, as if the very walls were waiting for something to happen. The screeching of metal, the snapping of belts, the air itself seemed to crackle with anticipation. Every sound was amplified, echoing through the dimly lit space. Then, with a sound like cloth ripping, the green glow that pulsed within the belts flickered and died. It was as if the life force of the garage was being extinguished. The belts fell limp and lifeless to the floor. They lay there, motionless, like discarded snakes. The machinery shuddered, groaned, and then fell silent. The once deafening noise was replaced by an eerie quiet. The only sound that remained was Tom's ragged breathing and the steady drip of oil from a nearby engine. Each breath he took seemed to echo in the newfound silence. The air, though still thick with the smell of ozone and burnt rubber, felt lighter, cleaner. It was as if the oppressive weight had been lifted. The evil that had that gripped the garage had been vanquished, at least for now. A sense of relief washed over the space, though the memory of the struggle lingered. The old belts are gone, and the bright of new belts shines through the garage. Tom was succeeded defeating the old haunted belts. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.